the iguana tribe quickly assembled over 100 males. Yet despite their numbers, they stood barely 2 meters tall, far smaller than the towering iguana lord. Their strength was less than half of his. Seeing the mob converge, Gobukwang sneered and raised his hands. "Demonic flame," he roared. Twin spheres of ghostly blue fire burst to life in his palms before being hurled into the crowd. They landed with a violent hiss and exploded amidst the iguanas. "Aha!" Screams pierced the air as over a dozen iguanas were engulfed in unquenchable flame. No matter how fiercely they rolled or buried themselves in the mud, the blue fire clung to their flesh, burning straight through to the bone. Bones melted. Flesh disintegrated. This was the brutal nature of demonic flame, its fury akin to white phosphorus used in modern warfare. Meanwhile, on the battlefield's opposite end, a horde of iguanas had swarmed Gobushan, pinning him to the ground. They pummeled him with hammers and stones, trying to shatter his defenses. But it was pointless. His bone armor, stronger than forged iron, regenerated instantly with every blow. Realizing he couldn't move, Gobushan stopped resisting. Instead, he focused on reshaping his armor. In a flash, sharp bone spikes jutted outward from his entire body, transforming him into a monstrous porcupine. A dozen iguanas were impaled instantly, shrieking in agony. Gobushan began devouring the fallen without hesitation. He ripped through sinew and bone with mindless hunger, crimson smearing his face like war paint. As he gorged himself, an injured iguana crept up behind him, dagger trembling in hand. The creature lunged. Swish! Gobushan didn't even turn. With a sickening crunch, he twisted around and bit the iguana's head clean off, savoring it like a snack. "Crunchy," he muttered, chewing thoughtfully. Beside him, Gobutian moved methodically, collecting corpses and devouring them one by one. The energy coursing through him triggered an evolution. Though his small goblin body remained compact, two thin antennae extended from his head. He now resembled something between a cockroach and an iguana. His tongue had changed as well, long, forked, and tuned to scent in the air. Even invisible enemies could no longer escape him. As Gobutian marveled at his transformation, the antennae on his head twitched sharply. 3 grotesque goblins feasted amidst the carnage, even gnawing on those not fully dead. Burp. "I'm stuffed. Let's head back. The boss said not to wipe them all out, leave a few to repopulate." "We'll come again later," Gobutian said, rubbing his stomach in satisfaction. "I'm full too," Gobushan added, nodding. "I've evolved. The boss will definitely reward me. Then let's move out." Gobukwang slung the mother iguana over his shoulder and grabbed the smaller one with his free hand. Gobushan looked puzzled. "Why are you carrying those? We don't need leftovers." Gobukwang grinned smugly, finally feeling smarter than someone else. "You ungrateful pigs only care about eating. Did you forget the boss? I'll report this when we get back." Hey, don't. Next time we catch humans, I'll let you have more, okay? "Lord, where are you?" A dark shadow approached from the forest. The golden iguana lord trudged forward, his expression grim. "Damn birdmen, damn goblins. Once I rid myself of the birdmen, I'll make humans my cattle. And as for those goblins..." Hatred twisted his face. "I'll massacre them all. How dare they disrespect me?" As he neared his tribe's territory, he slowed. But the moment he stepped inside, his confident stride faltered. He blinked in disbelief. No, this isn't right. Everything was in ruins. Corpses littered the ground, burnt, mutilated, and defiled. Some were so mangled, he didn't recognize them at first. "That looks like my uncle. And that's my third brother. What is this?" Filth covered the dead. Children's skeletons lay stripped of flesh. Some bodies had been defecated on. A few battered survivors peeked from the reeds. The Lord has returned. We're saved." Injured iguanas limped toward him, tears streaming down their bloodied faces. At last, the iguana lord accepted the truth. He threw back his head and roared to the heavens. Who did this? He couldn't fathom how his territory had been defiled in his absence. The attackers, they were three strange goblins, an iguana cried. High tier, we think. We couldn't stop them. They even took the madam and the young lady. Goblins? The iguana lord's pupils contracted. His mate and daughter, taken. He immediately suspected the Tian Quang tribe, but quickly dismissed it. No, I was just there. They wouldn't dare, and they couldn't have struck so quickly. His mind raced through possibilities. His southern territory had 3 goblin tribes under his command, mostly overlord types. It couldn't be them. The east had only Tian Quang, and the west and north were too far. No matter how he reasoned it, he couldn't make sense of the audacity or speed of the attack. Furious, he growled, hide yourselves well. I'll chase them myself. He sniffed the air, his forked tongue flicking out. His eyes sharpened. I smell them, my wife and daughter. Without hesitation, he charged in the direction the goblins had fled. I'll kill every last one of them. Back at the Tian Quang tribe. Boss. Come quick, I brought you a gift. Gobu Quang called out cheerfully. Lin Tian, deep in thought over how to cultivate new goblins, looked up. At first, he paid no mind to the 2 captured iguanas. His focus locked instead on the goblins before him. Each had evolved. Especially Gobu Shan, his form had changed so drastically, Lin Tian barely recognized him as a goblin. But then again, goblinhood wasn't defined by appearance. It was about behavior, instincts, and loyalty. Gobu Shan, LV71. Race, mutant goblin. Profession, battlebone. Title, Bone Warrior, Mutant Goblin, God's Blessing. Health, 1700. Strength, 580. Defense, 700. Skills, Evil Bone Growth, Gene Devour. Equipment, Evil Bone. Overall, 3000. As Lin Tian reviewed Gobu Shan's stat panel, he nodded with approval. The numbers were solid though, to his slight surprise, still a notch below Gobu Quang's. Well, that made sense. Gobu Quang had always been a bit of a monster. Even as a mutant, Gobu Shan hadn't quite caught up. He turned his gaze to Gobu Tian, who stood quietly nearby, his presence barely noticeable, like a lurking shadow. Lin Tian blinked in surprise. Despite weaker individual stats, Gobu Tian's overall strength matched Gobu Shan's. Likely due to his specialization as an assassin, speed, precision, and skill synergy could close the gap. With proper equipment, Gobu Tian might even surpass his peers. Just as he was lost in these thoughts, a shrill, furious voice broke the moment. Unhand me, you filthy goblins! I am the Lord's wife. When my husband finds out, he'll crush you all. You'll pay for this. The female iguana, who had been unconscious, had come to. Her eyes blazed with rage, and her voice was sharp and unrelenting. Lin Tian frowned. Who is this? What lord? Where did you even find her? We're not sure, Gobu Quang replied, scratching his head. We stumbled upon an iguana tribe while exploring. Grabbed a few captives. Then, with a toothy grin, he added, we thought you'd want first pick, boss. One young, one seasoned. All up to your taste. Lin Tian coughed awkwardly. Let's not be too reckless. If she really belongs to the Iguana Lord's tribe, things could get complicated. His brow furrowed with unease, a rare crack in his confident demeanor. Catching this, the female iguana smirked coldly. That's right. My husband is the Southern Lord. Scared now? It's already too late. But instead of fear, Lin Tian's expression twisted into something darker. His lips curled into a cruel smile. So you're the reason my people are being hunted down? You think declaring your name will save you now? His tone dropped, low and venomous. You've just volunteered to deliver a message to your dear husband. He stepped forward, power rolling off him in waves. The female iguana stiffened, eyes widening as Gobu Quang's grip tightened. Relax, lady, he growled. Struggle too much, and someone might get hurt. Before she could retort, a sharp whistle pierced the air and elemental hand crossbow had fired. A poisoned bolt embedded itself with surgical precision. The female iguana gasped, her limbs giving out as the toxin overtook her. She slumped, barely conscious, her voice trembling. No. I'm the Lord's wife, this can't be. Lin Tian stood tall, a wicked grin curling on his lips as he looked over his eager tribe. With a casual wave of his hand, he declared, "These 2 lizards are yours." A roar of excitement erupted instantly. "Thank you for your gracious reward, boss," someone shouted. "Long live the boss," another yelled, their voice brimming with fanatic loyalty. Chaos followed as the goblins surged forward. "Out of the way. Me first, me first. I want this one," a goblin barked, already grabbing at the smaller iguana. "Hey, leave some for me," another growled, shoving his way into the fray. The 2 lizards could only tremble as the tribe descended on them like a pack of starving beasts, fueled by blind devotion and savage hunger. Lin Tian asked, "What did you 3 do to his tribe? Just captured these 2? Gobu Tian replied, "No, we pretty much slaughtered and devoured most of them. Left a few alive just to breed." Lin Tian shot up in disbelief, startled by how they had taken advantage of the iguana lord's absence to decimate his entire clan. Gobu Kwang and the others braced themselves, expecting a scolding. But to their surprise, Lin Tian grinned and said, "Nice work. Especially you, Gobu Kwang. I didn't raise you for nothing, you even brought me a gift." All he could think about now was how the iguana lord would react once he learned who the real culprits were. And as if summoned by fate, he appeared. "Damn goblins! Get out here! Return my wife and daughter." Outside the Tian Kwang tribe, the iguana lord had followed their scent to this very place. He never expected it to be them, the Tian Kwang tribe. They had barely ended their alliance, and in such a short time, these monsters had annihilated his people. It was unforgivable. He stormed in, smashing the entrance and sweeping his massive tail, killing several powerful variants. Coldly, he snarled, "None of you will leave here alive. Blood for blood." With a roar, his eyes locked onto his wife and daughter's skeletons lying on the ground. The sight stopped him cold, like being struck by lightning. He froze in place. "What a coincidence," Lin Tian said with a wicked smile. "Speak of the devil, too bad you're late." Lin Tian sneered, his voice dripping with mockery. The iguana lord's eyes blazed with fury. With a deafening roar, he opened his jaws wide and bellowed, "Today, I'll wipe your entire tribe off the face of the earth. A blood debt must be paid in blood." In that instant, a sickly green gas erupted from his mouth, a corrosive, noxious cloud that surged forward like a tidal wave, hissing and swirling as it tore through the air, aimed straight at the heart of the Tian Kwang tribe.